Motherfucker. Well, hello there. Welcome back to the Pit Stop Ranch. Today, figured we'd do some proper shade tree mechanicing. After all, it is a Mustang, so the proper place to work on it is under an old shade tree. And not only that, shade tree mechanicing in the truest form. Instead of doing proper diagnostics and figuring out exactly what's wrong, we're just going to throw parts at it. Now originally, I was going to do a video on fixing up the running board on the right side of Jimmy, but I figured 2 videos in a row about fixing running boards and you'll be plumb them out on boards. So I figured this video, we'll go ahead and take a break altogether completely from Jimmy and save the running board repairs and sanding and filling and sanding and filling and painting for the next video. Now, if you recall, in our update video a little while back, I mentioned this thing's got kind of a problem running. You hit the thing and it and dies. And according to the experts on the interweb, who are never wrong, it's one of 2 things: the TFI sensor or the PIP sensor. Well, we went ahead and did the right thing and got the cheapest TFI on the internet, on eBay, and threw it on there, and it did basically nothing. So today we went ahead and went down to Napa and picked up over the counter a PIP sensor. And again, the same expert said it's no problem whatsoever. You just got to jerk the distributor and pull it apart completely, change it out, put it all back together and stab it back in there and do it all right for it to work. And that'll fix all your problems. I guess we'll find out. Anyways, follow along as we go through and replace this PIP sensor, and be amazed that it doesn't actually solve the fuel problem that we obviously have. Okay, right here is the cheapest TFI module on the internet, and that's what we went ahead and stuck in there, and you know that that's got to be good, so that can't be the problem, right? So our next step is to go ahead and replace the PIP sensor, which is a Hall effect sensor that is used to determine can position to work with the fuel injection. First thing we need to get started here is a good old-fashioned Sharpie marker. First thing we want to do is we want to take our marker and we want to make sure that not only is the distributor body installed exactly the same place it is, because that could create all sorts of issues with the computer. We want to make sure that the rotor goes in exactly where it belongs. So we start with a Sharpie marker and let's mark where this big straight piece is pointing so that we can reinstall it to the same point. Now we're marking where the rotor is pointing. Now we have an old mark over here from when it was pulled to change the TFI. So we got our new mark. These are the parts we need to replace. Seems as though we need to take these off. At least that's what the interweb says. And we got these roll pins. So let's go set it up in the vise and knock those roll pins out, and we can slip this off. Okay, we knocked the roll pins out. and now we're trying to get this gear off. We got a couple options. All right, this whole thing fell and broke, so but the show must go on now. It's only this plastic part around here, so I might be able to get a replacement. So I'm going to go ahead and proceed, and on the assumption I can just replace this and go from there. So let's go ahead and keep fighting to get that off. Now, one of my fears is I'm going to mushroom that out and mess it up. So there's only so much tension you can put on it. Okay, well, I'm fairly convinced that this is a press off, press on proposition. So I'm going to have to figure out how to do that now. Jesus. That was a firm fit. That also means I'm going to have to probably press it back on. Jesus. You can see how goobered that up is. I'm going to clean that up and yeah. Oh, it's varnish. Perfect, that's how it's supposed to go. Okay, let's go ahead and go after what we can start this whole project over. Alright, since we broke this part, we're just going to go ahead and pull it, get it out of the way, so that I can go up to the parts house and get another one. Alright, I always like to compare the old one and the new one, because that sometimes is important. Everything looks in order. Anyways. And the last step is to go ahead clean these out and slide them back on. The challenge here is getting this up and lined up with the hole there. See, lined up the hole. Now take the roll pin, using the punch to make sure I got alignment. And we got it started. Use the vise as a press. The trick is you have to get it started first or you'll kink it. We're using the press, or the vise, to press the pin in. Going further, let's double check it. Make sure it's going in straight. It is going in straight, nearly all the way through. The poor man's arbor press, otherwise known as the vise. And that's how you replace the PIP. Lessons learned. When we took it out to replace the TFI, we should have put in a new PIP because it was the same job. Be careful the way you hold on to it because stuff will break. I am sure that's all mushroomed out. I might have to touch that up with the file because of the press. Just go straight to the press. You're not going to hammer that off. This is a pretty tight interference fit. Next time I do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get on this with the torch. There's a crack right here, stress crack, and that could have been from the same fall that broke that right there. So very good chance this uber cheap TFI is broken as well now. If that fixes it, problem remains, or made it worse. Those are the three possible outcomes. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure which one we got going on with this one. Well, I'm lucky. They had one. So, go and stab this in. Alrighty. Stab this turkey in.
Now, this is where all of the marks pay off. It looks like I'm one tooth off on that. So we'll go over a little bit more. And cap is, rotor is, it looks good. All right.
Okay, so grand mystery. Does this work? Was this worth it? Or are we just going to be buying a new distributor anyways? Moment of truth. Well, that's a bit disappointing, if not completely unexpected. Pretty sure we damaged the internals on our distributor to the point where it isn't functioning properly, when in fact probably our problem all along was something in the fuel. Either a crappy combination of the crap in the fuel coupled with crap in the fuel lines. But we need to do a bunch of proper diagnostics this time to figure out exactly what the problem is. I'm out of any sort of starting fluid, so otherwise I'd just squirt some down the throttle body, turn the key and see if it coughs and spits. If it coughs and spits, the ignition is fine. It's the fuel delivery that's messed up. But the fact that 2 weeks ago I was able to actually drive it into this position, very poorly, but I was able to do it with a janky clutch and a sputtering engine. Now we've taken 3 steps backwards. We had taken 2 steps forward, now we're 3 steps back. I guess that's what you get for listening to the internet. So, to recover from this disappointing outcome, stay tuned for more sanding and painting on Jimmy. And if you like what we're doing here at the Pit Stop Ranch, please go ahead and hit the like button. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe. So until next time, have an ignition-tastic day. Painting for the next video.